If you're a fire and life safety company, this video is going to change your life. I'm going to show you exactly how you can automate your scheduling and dispatch process for your fire and life safety company. In fire and life safety, you cannot just schedule and send your nearest technician to a job. You have to send the one whose certification covers the job. A NICET 3 can commission a panel, a level 1 cannot. Your sprinkler ITM guy can't sign off a fire pump test. Miss that and you got a failed inspection or a liability problem. So watch me dispatch a full day on this screen where 12 techs, 30 jobs, and where the system is going to match exactly who is the right guy for every single job. Now if you're for example in your fire and life safety company, as I said, one of the core things when you're dispatching and scheduling is the skills and certifications. Does this person have the right skill set and the certification? And that is one of the most important things, after which all the other constraints come into picture. So what I've done is I've added a few team members here. For each of the team members, I've added the skills that are required to do that kind of a job. Now skill and certification can be a different thing or it can be the same thing depending on your workflow. But over here, for example, if you see for Marcus, I have fire alarm inspection, which is the nicest one too. Then there is monitoring and communicators. There's emergency and exit lighting. Then for example, let's say Andre has fire alarm install and programming, emergency and exit lighting, and monitoring and communicators. Then for example, there can be Sheila, who is kitchen hood suppression. All of these people have different skill set, and when you are trying to have a scheduling and dispatch platform for your business, one of the core things is the job types. Now, what are the various types of job that your team is going to do? So it can be fire watch and impairment response. It can be monitoring and communicator service. It can be emergency and exit lighting inspection, clean agent, special hazard service, kitchen hood suppression service, fire extinguisher annual service. It can be any of these services that you offer, and for each of them, what are the skill sets and certifications which are required by your team member, and which of your team members can actually do it. Now based on this, you can divide your business into service areas. For example, if I'm in Toronto, I can divide my service area into Vaughan, Markham, Brampton, Mississauga, and put my clientele according to those areas and when I'm going to be in those areas. So I don't need to go every single day into every single area. I can do a smart decision. Once all of this is set up, what is your optimization strategy? So in your use case, unlike a HVAC company which can dispatch a job based on like revenue volume combined, what you are going to be doing is you are going to just keep it balanced and dispatch it based on the priority, because priority is the SLA which is going to come into picture. Now let's say job is the tab where you have a queue. Queue is the place where based on the SLA you will have a list of jobs which have, for example, warnings, issues ready, and these are smartly adjusted based on an SLA. So when I am creating a work order, I can just say like what type of inspection it is, for instance, and then it will automatically load the required skills, required equipment, preferred technicians, whatever it is. Then preferred time windows in your use case would be the SLAs. So you have to go once a month at this place. So it will be a recurring kind of a inspection. And then what's the recurring schedule? And if you want to add a fixed time each month and just want to figure out who is the person that's going to go, or you can do a preferred time window that it can be in the morning or it can be the afternoon, depending on how busy the building is, for instance. And once all of this is set up, the queue is where you have all the list of things. Now you may say that, hey Jill, we use an existing CRM system. How does this work with it? So FieldCamp's AI Dispatcher can work with your existing portal or like the property portal that you're using, your CRM, whatever you're using, with a two-way connector. So based on the SLAs in the queue, the jobs will automatically come. Jobs is something which is you have to go and complete that work order. How easy it is to dispatch this is just one click away. So what I'm going to do is I'll just press 1. The system reads every text, certification, location, day, plus the priority of each call and builds the schedule. The fire watch and the sprinkler leak jump to the front, of course. The panel commissioning went to the NICET 3 and not whoever was the closest. The pump test landed with Frank, who's certified for it. Now if you want this kind of a schedule, I'm just going to press send to AI. It's going to dispatch it based on, of course, a lot of factors. It's going to suggest you for each person. For example, for this one, it's an emergency and exit lighting inspection. Then Andre is the right guy. They can go tomorrow. He can go tomorrow, and then based on that, only thing you have to do is you have to just accept it if the schedule looks right to you. So I can go to the map, I can look at the schedule. If this looks good, this is a day schedule, for instance, this is tomorrow's schedule. I can have various ways to look at this schedule. So I can just say, for example, a day view or a timeline view and hourly. So I know who is going where at what time on a given time period. So the entire calendar is easily planned rather than spending 2 hours deciding, oh, we have to go at this place, do SLA, etc. It just fully automated your scheduling and dispatch. Now we can go one step further. The further step is, you may be like, hey, for instance, why do I have to go each morning and press on the queue? Based on the SLA, can the system fully automate my scheduling and dispatch? Yes. So this is what FieldCamp's dispatch agents are for. What they do is something simple. So you can give them a task. For example, I have an autopilot dispatch. What it does is it checks the calendar every single night at 9 a.m. and then decides that which jobs are priority, which jobs are not priority. It can integrate with your existing system, pull those data and create a job over here if a new work order is in, and then automatically press the button and pass it through the AI dispatcher based on the analysis which came in. Like for example, all the suggestions, like the 25 dispatch suggestions that came in with the 83% dispatch rate, is going to see if this matches with your SLA standards, if it matches with how your human brain thinks, for example, because it's prompt based. And then it evaluated it and it can accept it as well. And for the 5 not dispatch jobs, it can replan them and then put it through the dispatcher as well. So this is just one example of within like your existing system, how you can plan your entire week in like 3 minutes with one click for your fire and life safety scheduling. And if you want to go more detailed, for example, we have all of these things are machine learning based. So the system knows that, hey, last time we sent this guy on this job. So next time, preferably it would be the same guy so they can do it quicker and they exactly know what needs to be done. If you want this kind of a setup for your business, then we need to talk, because your dispatcher stops cross-checking certification cards against a map every single morning. Your emergencies automatically get covered first, and every job who goes where is also easily figured out through this. Look forward to talking to you. Thank you.